So I want to talk drinking, but in terms of the tools of the trade, something like that. So most people know what a wine glass looks like. It has that tall stem, flat bottom of course, and then a round dish or some variation of round placed for the liquid. A brandy glass is not that much different. It's short, so it has a short stem, and instead of being round, completely round, it traditionally is more round and then closes up near the end. Not a small hole, but it just sort of loops up a little bit. So, like a lobster trap or a crab trap or something, it goes in and lobsters would come in and then they can't get out. If you've ever seen the netting on one of those traps. I live in Maine, so that's like the best thing I can do for you. The thing with a wine glass, as far as I know, is you would always drink it by holding the stem. Now, I've been told this is to not get fingerprints on the glass itself. It could also have something to do with the idea of the heat from your hand affecting the wine. But whatever the reason, I was always taught you hold it by the stem. But a brandy glass, you don't so much. You can actually take that and hold the cup itself, which is why it has the short stem. Now, traditionally, that was valuable because you would take the brandy and the heat from your hand would affect the liquid somehow. I'm not too sure of the physics. I've read about it, but I'm blanking in this moment. And, I don't know, maybe get the molecules moving or something is going on that would improve the taste. I have read, and this I do remember, that is the tradition, but not necessary today for a lot of brandies. I have read that once that brandy goes into the bottle, its taste it's there. It's not going to change. The heat from your hand isn't going to do much to it. It's now just a tradition thing to use this particular type of glass. Now, a brandy glass has one more thing, as I mentioned, one more piece, and that is the shape of it goes up. Now, I don't know if that's to contain the aroma. So when you sniff the brandy, if it's keeping everything closer to your nose, that might be the reason for it. It might be tradition, a cultural thing. I'm really not too sure. The one thing I have heard is that it helps with measuring out the correct amount of brandy that one should be drinking. Now, you can drink whatever you want of brandy. If you want to consume this much brandy, it's strong and it'll knock you out, and you're going to have a really good night, and that's your call. But in proper circles, you don't do that. You put a little bit in. You enjoy it. It's a drink to be enjoyed, not down like a beer. And the way you know how much brandy to put in one of these glasses is you take it and you turn it on its side, so it's resting on its side. And where that curve is, none of the brandy should spill out. So the curve of the glass, the brandy will coat the bottom, and that's how much you have in that glass. That's the proper amount. That's what I've read. So you'll see photos of brandy glasses turned on their side, and they have just that proper amount. So that's the drinking of brandy. The other thing I've read is that you take the brandy and you smell it first. You enjoy the aroma. I know that was the first thing that I ever got when I tried brandy at, 12 years old or something, or under the age of 21, without doubt. I smelled that, and it was just like, wow, it was potent and it was amazing, and I just want to stick my nose in this glass. And it was okay to stick my nose in the glass. And so suppose that you want to smell it first, and then you want to take a little sip. Not down it, just a little sip, because it can be strong. And just get your taste buds used to it. And if you put too much in, you're going to shock yourself, is sort of what I've read. Like, oh, it's so much. But this just is a little bit. See if you like it. Get used to it. And then you can have more and more until you're done enjoying this. I have seen alternative things where you take the brandy and you eat cheese with it, and you put this in. This is like what the salt on the back of your hand sort of thing. There's all sorts of variations. Some mixologists who are watching this video might think I'm wacko, and that's totally okay. I'm not talking to a mixologist who's been to school. I'm talking to the average person who doesn't know anything about brandy. I'm trying to just give you a little bit of advice, and if I'm totally wrong, I'll make another video and a follow-up and whatever. But this is what I know about a brandy glass and what I know about drinking it. That being said, I do something completely different. I use shot glasses. Got a little pirate here. They come from Portland, Maine, where I am, and I didn't want something that was too Portlandy. And hey, pirates are cool. I have this one, and I have this one with all the cool flags. Isn't that neat? There's nothing elegant about these. I ain't sipping and discussing politics with a pirate glass. William F. Buckley might have enjoyed that, but that's not what I'm doing. If I was doing that, I would have proper brandy glasses. I use these for the very simple reason is I want to control how much I drink in one sitting. And I've said this in videos. There's some really wonderful brandies out there which are just to die for. They're so good. I just want to keep drinking. But I have very, very strong feelings about alcoholism. My grandfather died of alcoholism. My ex-girlfriend died at 33 years old from alcoholism. Alcoholism is rampant with people in my family. I do not believe it's a disease, though. I have strong issues about AA, though. I don't believe I have a disease. For 1 year in my life, I drank. I've slept on the sidewalk. I didn't have a disease. I was lonely and bored and living in a foreign country. When I moved in the foreign country, I didn't drink anymore. I was lonely and bored. And I was in a really bad relationship at one point, many years later. And it was coming to an end, and I drank once in a while. Her and I would drink, and yeah, I was frustrated. And I went to AA after that relationship was over, and I stopped going to AA, and I never drank. It didn't care, because it was just something to, I don't know, dull the pain, but it achieved nothing. I don't believe it's a disease. That's for a different video, though. But I do believe alcohol will kill you because of what it does to your body. And for some people can't stop drinking it because of the properties of addiction. Much like cigarettes are addictive. But we don't say people having a disease who smoke cigarettes. But I do believe if you drink too much, it will kill you physically. My ex-girlfriend did 2 to 4 bottles of wine a day. We'd eat half a slice of pizza every other day. She's gone now. Her body just fell apart. It was nasty. It was horrible to watch her until she went into a coma and whatever. So I drink this much. This is all I will drink in a day, unless I go out with someone to a bar, which I never do. So when I try my brandy, I try it in this size glass. It is 100% unorthodox, I know. But in this case, I want to make sure I never drink too much. And it's easy to do. Brandy is so good. Drink responsibly. I will defend that. And I know I'm a hypocrite for doing brandy videos, but there is the opposite of being drunk is not being a teetotaler. The opposite of being drunk is drinking responsibly. For me, this is all you need. You can enjoy this. It's a nice little nightcap. You're good to go. One day, I don't even drink every day. Drink responsibly. Don't kill yourself. And if you don't believe me about what dying is like, I'm more than happy to tell you the stories of watching someone die in front of me who I knew was dying 2 years out. So anyways, I just want to give my 2 thoughts on, I don't know, just some things on brandy, whatever. Comments, feedback, arguments, you can do it all. Be my guest. Drink responsibly, though. That's the only thing.